Hey everyone, Black 6 from BZPower back here for another set review. Today we have got the Wiztastics Mixels from Series 3 of the 2014 Mixels theme. So starting off, we've got 41524 Mesmo, who has 64 pieces. You can see he's got a dragon look going on here with the wizard hats as eyes or eyebrows / horns, or if you want to look at that. Going on to the back, we see if you take all three of the Wiztastics Mixels and combine them, you can get the Wiztastics Max. And of course, an advertisement for all 9 Mixels in Series 3. You can go to lego.com/Mixels for more. And of course, some fun legal text. All right, next up we've got 41525 Magnifo. Who contains 61 pieces. So he's kind of got a wizard look going on with his kind of pointy hat and some wands. Obviously, like with all the Mixels, the main set takes up the majority of the packaging, but in the top right, we have the animated version that appears in the TV shorts. And finally, we've got 41526 Wizwuz. So I'm not quite sure, I guess he's kind of supposed to be a spider or a scorpion or something. You can see he's got 6 legs. He's got a tail with a hook on it. And so I'm assuming, I guess, scorpion more than anything. But we'll take a closer look when we actually see the final set. So enough of the packaging, let's open these puppies up. All right, so inside each of the poly bags, we've got a bag of parts and an instruction manual. Unlike all the other Mixels that I have opened this year, this one came with loose parts. Normally I'll include all the pieces in the bag. Taking a quick look at one of the instruction booklets for Mesmo, the one with the loose parts, we can see that the artwork on the front is very reminiscent of the packaging, just on a different form factor in landscape mode instead of portrait. On the back, minifig with this Cup of Joe says you can win. If you go to lego.com/product feedback. Pretty normal instructions. And then in the back, we've got the part inventory, a reminder that you can combine them to form the Wiztastics Max if you go to lego.com/Mixels and download the instructions, which we will be doing. I've got a checklist of all of the Mixels that came out in 2014. Hopefully you collected them all. If you haven't by now, a lot of them are no longer on store shelves, especially from the first 2 series. An advertisement for the game, and a code you can use to get some extra characters or who knows what in game. All right, with that out of the way, let's take a look at the pieces. All right, so here we've got the parts from the 3 Mixels, starting off with Mesmo. Some of the ones that stood out are the minifig head with the eye on it, which is only available in 3 sets, of course, all of them Mixels. We've got the 2x2 black round tile, which seems like a pretty normal piece, but my research tells me it's only been available actually in 4 sets, so that's pretty cool. We've got this 1x2 jumper plate in purple, which this is the only set apparently that you can get this in, so pretty rare. And we've got the 1x2 curve slope in purple, which is only available in these 3 Mixels plus the X-Men Sentinel set from this year. Other than that, we've got quite a bit of purple, black, some light gray. Other interesting pieces include the wizard hat. We've got the wing pieces in purple from Chima, but these were largely available in the Raven sets, among others. I've got some trans blue cheese slopes, some of the Mixel joints, a decent variety, but nothing else really that jumps out. Moving on to Magnifo, we've got this 2x2x2 purple cone, which is only available in this set, so unique to this set. We've got the 1x2 inverted slope in purple, only available in 4 sets this year. Now this piece isn't exactly rare, but it stood out to me. So it's the lightsaber rod piece in trans purple. I'm sure this has been available in quite a few sets thanks to Mace Windu, but it's cool to me, and you get 2 of them in this set. You know, again, a lot of purple, black, these trans blue cheese slopes. We do have this interesting piece, 2x3 tile with clips on it in trans black. Apparently this is the set that the Mixel comes in, because we get the Mixel face piece, got some curved pieces, fender pieces, some 1x2 trans blue bricks. So a good variety, but nothing too out of the ordinary, but some good pieces, definitely. Finally, we've got Wizwuz. None of the pieces in here were specifically unique to this set. I think this was probably the closest, was the sword piece that was only available, I think, in like about 5 sets this year in this trans light blue. Definitely a cool piece. Got a Technic connector on the back here. We've got, you know, 2x2 rounded brick in purple. Got the nice fender piece, the ball joint Mixel eye, some various Mixel joints, clip pieces. A lot less purple in this set, it seems to me, than the other 2, just from, you know, taking a look at the parts. But that doesn't mean that the pieces won't be used to good effect. Also some more dark gray I see in this set than the others, so that's interesting to note. Anyway, with the pieces out of the way, let's get building. And here we've got the finished Wiztastic Mixels. So starting off, we'll take a look at Mesmo. So he's got a kind of dragon vibe going on with the wings and the little tail and the horns. Really like the look, although he is a little lacking in articulation. I really like the little horn here, which looks like kind of a little goatee or a soul patch that he's got. So he looks like a really kind of chill, kind of magical dragon, especially with the horns. Using the hats, they can you can move them around and give them you know, a variety of expressions. So that's cool. Definitely like that. Nice little feature. And of course, if you want, you can move the minifig head underneath to further do that. The wings, they can flap, and then if you want, they can twist a little bit. So some good articulation there. The feet suffer the problem a lot of Mixel feet have, in that they cannot move forward and backwards, only side to side and rotate. You know, this problem would be really easily alleviated if they switched the ball and put the ball on the body and the socket on the foot. I don't know why they don't do that. And it's kind of frustrating to see on so many of these sets. And finally, we've got the head opens and closes. He's got some tiles for teeth here, and he uses some 1x1 round plates for teeth there. So that's kind of cool. And since they're not sharp, you can tell that, you know, he's a gentle dragon, you know, helping people out maybe instead of eating them up. Next up, we've got Magnifo. Again, has feet that can't go forward and backwards, only outwards and rotating. Kind of disappointed. His arms only have 1 point of articulation. They're on a clip hinge, so only go forward and backwards. Technically, I suppose the hat can move, but it, you know, looks really the best here. And he's got a little kind of cape or tuxedo tails that can go up and down as well. So not much in terms of articulation here. You know, I think the look is kind of okay, but it would have been nice maybe to give a kind of a brim to the hat, make him look a little more wizardy or something. I do like the use of the fender piece as kind of a collar. That's kind of cool. So not a bad look, helps make up a little bit for the posability. And finally, we have got Wizwuz, probably my favorite of the three. So he's definitely kind of got a scorpion vibe going on, even though he only has 6 legs instead of 8. So the legs each have a clip hinge so they can move up and down. The tail has 2 points of articulation, both mixel joints, so they can go up and down, they can go side to side a good bit, can spin around, and then the hook can also has a decent bit of articulation, mainly forward and backwards, not, I guess a little bit side to side as well. And then also his head, the top of his head is hinged, as is the bottom, so you can see that he can really open his mouth good and wide. And he's got some teeth there and some teeth here. They even put some 1x1 round plates on the inside as added teeth. And of course, since he uses the ball joint eyes, those can spin around, so you can give him all sorts of expressions on his face there. You know, I commented earlier that it seemed like he had less purple than the others. I kind of would have liked, I think, if they used the 1x2 purple rounded slopes on the legs to give him just a little bit more purple, although he does already use 6 of them as it is on the set. But you know, I think a little more purple would not have been bad in this case. Overall, I do like the color schemes on all 3 of them. The purple with the transparent blue works really well, and the black and white pieces accent it nicely and kind of really pop off that color scheme. And you don't really notice the dark and light gray so much. It kind of blends into the background, which is great. Finally, we do have the Nixel that's included in this set, similar to in each of the previous waves. So this is the 3rd time we've seen this particular Nixel. Uses the teeth for feet, cheese slopes for ears, got the 2x2 rounded plate or rounded tile for a face, and he uses the Exoforce hands as hands, which do rotate, so technically he does have 2 points of articulation, so that's kind of neat. You know, as far as articulation goes, Wizwuz has the most, I think, with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of articulation. Let's see, Mesmo, he's got the legs 2, the wings 3 and 4, 5 and 6 on the mouth. And finally Magnifo, I think technically has 5. He's got the legs articulate, the arms articulate, that's 4, and then this articulates for 5. So the Nixel does come with Magnifo, so that kind of makes up for the lack of articulation in my view. All in all, though, I'd say Wizwuz is probably my favorite, followed by Mesmo and then Magnifo. But if you're looking for purple pieces, these are definitely great sets to look at for that. Since we have all 3 of the Wiztastic Mixels, though, we're going to take them apart and build the Wiztastics Max and see how that one stacks up. Alright, so here we've got the final Wiztastics Max. As per usual, you do not have to take apart the Nixel to make the Max version of the Mixels. So we've got this kind of dragon looking thing. Kind of reminds me a little bit of some of the dragon designs in How to Train Your Dragon. It's kind of got a really squat look, but still definitely dragonish with the wings and the horns and the big tail. I really like the face design, so they really like how the fender piece works with the 1x2 curve slopes here, and they really blend in well. I also like at the top of the head is actually built upside down, so you can see if I pop off the jumper plate that this is all upside down, and then it's clipped on top, and you can see underneath, you can see the studs visible here. Definitely like kind of the teeth mesh. I like how they use the hats again as horns on the eyes. One thing I'm not quite so fond about is with these eyes, the eyes are looking in different directions, which kind of always gives them a kind of confused look. That's a minor nitpick, I'd say, in the big scheme of things. I also like how by building upside down, they kind of left these studs visible, which look like nostrils. So that's a really nice look. The legs are pretty simple. They only use 2 Mixel joints all total in this Max, which is a little disappointing. Actually, I guess, oh no, sorry, there is a third. But more posability would have been nice, but I do like that you can kind of move the legs back a little as opposed to having them be like stuck like that. Would be nice if you could do that with the front legs as well, but you get 2 points of articulation on each of those, so 8 points in the legs, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Looking at the tail a little bit, I'm not quite sure what is going on with there. So I said it kind of looked like a dragon, but I suppose the tail kind of gives it more of an insect look with the kind of big thorax on it. And this may be like a stinger or something, so if it's flying along, it can put that underneath it and go sting the Mixel and take him out. But all in all, I do like the design. I think it looks pretty cool. Of the Max versions of the Mixels I've built thus far, I think this one is probably my favorite. That said, I do still think I like the individual ones better, and will probably be taking him apart to build those. But all in all, a nice, decent design. The color scheme works well with the purple and black and the trans blue highlights. Definitely not a bad design. Interesting parts usage too, like I said, with the upside down building. That's always cool to see Lego doing some unique techniques there. Not bad at all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at the Wiztastic Mixels and their Max form. As per usual, you can check out the full review on BZPower, where we've got still images and written up thoughts to help you make your buying decisions. Of course, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you can get all of the latest reviews as soon as we post them. I'm sure we'll have quite a few 2015 set reviews coming up in the near future. And finally, make sure you visit BZPower. Check out the news on the front page, but make sure you also go to our discussion forums where there's a lot of talk going on about 2015 sets, especially Bionicle making its triumphant return, and also Ninjago, Chima, and many other themes. So you can talk about next year's sets. You can post your own creations and more. So check them out, and hopefully you'll like them. Thanks everyone again for watching, and I will talk to you next time.